Good morning and welcome to the Table Scraps podcast.
On today's episode, Bobby, Katie, and I are talking about creating some original content, and Katie gets a little vulnerable on us.
We love the power of vulnerability. We hope you enjoy.
That'll work.
See? Told you. I need to know, and I think the rest of the people need to know, am I a permanent host now?
I think Katie should be on the pod all the time.
I mean, the people spoke.
I'm fine with it.
Cool.
So we haven't done a pod for like a month.
Getting
But
back into the swing of things.
Yeah. So I wrote down, I'm like, okay, what have we done since we recorded the last podcast? Every week has been something.
Well, I'm glad you wrote it down because I don't remember.
I wouldn't have remembered, but the week after the Sun Run, it was Sheboygan for the Supercat race. Then it was your wedding. Then it was the shootout at Lake of the Ozarks. And
I was going to show my ring off. I'm not even wearing it.
Come on.
Brett hasn't taken his ring off since he got married.
I need to get some of those rubber ones because I keep taking mine off.
Hey, this isn't rubber.
That's not rubber?
That's
No,
real
it is.
platinum.
I keep taking mine off for yard work, and then I keep forgetting to put it back on. So, but anyway, sorry, go on.
Tyler and Amanda's wedding last weekend, which we were all at.
Yeah,
So
we
2
seem
weddings?
to always be at the same place,
I know.
work or personal.
2 weddings, 2 events. Now we're back. We got like 9 weeks without travel, it seems like.
Woohoo.
I think. Or maybe not that many, but no.
No, I don't think it's that many.
No,
How many is it?
I kind of depends.
Yeah.
Really, we don't know.
I feel like it's probably not that long at all. Next week, you're probably going to end up going to Florida.
I'm probably going to go to Illinois.
Oh, and you're going to go to Illinois. And then the week after that.
We have Texas now in October, beginning of October. That's
All right, so the calendar has been filling up, but at one point there was 9 weeks off.
yeah. Well, that point is in the past. It's gone now.
No, it's good. We've had a pipeline of work that I've never had up to this point.
It's a good problem to have. Like we could, I could sit here and complain about the travel, sure, but it's all because we have work.
Yeah, I know.
And in our industry, that is what you want.
Especially going into the fall and winter, I think we're going to be steady right through. So I've already got like 3 things on the calendar for next year, which I haven't had that this early in the year. So it's pretty cool. But it's a lot. I'm looking at it and I'm like, how are we going to get all this done?
Outsource. I don't know.
No, we're going to do it.
Work a lot of hours.
Yeah, we're going to do it. But it is going to be a lot. I think this Supercat project is just the looming one that's like 100 hours of editing in the next 6 weeks, plus all the other stuff. So how was your 4 weeks of no podcasting?
Kind of nice, but also like you get real rusty real quick. I mean, we were supposed to start this an hour ago, as you guys have reminded me about 20 times, as if we don't have any other things that we could be doing in that hour while I get set up. You know, but it's getting back into the swing of things. The longer we take in between, the harder
I
it
know.
is.
And you went for a new setup, which
And
I'm
Brad
not
filled
sure.
his time during the hour. Me, on the other hand, I was ready, and then I couldn't think about anything else other than that we were supposed to be starting the podcast, and then I didn't get anything else done in that time.
Yeah,
But I was ready.
not the best pivot ever.
No, not a good pivoter.
But anyway, how was your last 4 weeks?
My last 4 weeks. Well,
Personal time. Tell us about it.
Does that include the wedding?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that was
personal.
probably the biggest thing.
Okay. Yeah, biggest, most stressful, but greatest thing for sure. We did it pretty small. We did it in Traverse City. You guys know you were there, but for those listening, we did it in Traverse City over by the Sleeping Bear Dunes. Maybe I'll throw up a couple pictures on the video podcast, but it was great. It was exactly what we thought it would be and wouldn't change anything about it. Stayed up there one extra day, the 2 of us, and got a couples massage and just relaxed, hung out, came back and left immediately for Lotto. Right back to work. But yeah, that was good. Other than that, when we're not traveling, I've just been spending time at home with the pets and trying to get some work around the house done. It's kind of nice.
Any music?
Not really. No. That's been like the one I've been thinking about it a lot, but kind of like how it goes. Sometimes you cycle through what you've got going on. So,
well, I know you've been playing a lot of pickleball.
yeah, exactly. I replaced music with pickleball, which is good because I needed some physical activity. I was feeling rough.
How
out
has
there.
that pickleball been going?
I like it. You know what? I was a hater for sure. I'll be
Really?
the
You were
first
a
to admit
hater?
it. Yeah, I thought it was a fad. I thought it would go away. I wanted to play tennis. I was sick of hearing about it. And then we played it on my bachelor party. I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. And then we started to play a little bit more often. And now that we're all getting a little bit better at it, I see the appeal.
Brad says he needs pickleball shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my shoes suck.
He's got like those wide running shoes, so his feet are just moving around in there. Not good for like.
And after
hard
looking
stops.
at Bill's paddle, I'm like, okay, these Amazon $2 paddles might not cut it.
Yeah,
And our Amazon ball, like, it's just.
This is what happens. Well, this is what happens.
God,
It's Bill.
We're into pickleball now.
It's Bill Bennett every time. He will elevate, and then we're all like, all right, I guess we'll all go buy paddles now.
Oh God,
It's
fun.
an
though.
investment.
It is fun. It's
Yeah.
a good workout. I was sore. My feet were sore.
Now I just want to keep playing.
I drove
way.
35 minutes the other day one way to play pickleball
Oh my God, that's dedication. Where'd you go play?
in Shelby Township with Jordan.
So Jordan's getting into it now too.
Yep.
I gotta say, you were into it before any of
I
us.
was.
Yeah, you've been into it for a
But
while.
I've just stayed steady. I'm not like super into it for the competition. I just like to go out there, get some movement. So playing with you guys isn't really exactly what I'm trying to do, but
Yeah, that's fair. Madison was like, if you don't go easy on me, I will not play anymore.
yeah, it makes
And
it not
I went
fun.
like kind of easy on her, but then
Yeah.
you get to the point where I'm like, I'm like,
It's
I wanna
just different.
Snipe that
It's just
right
different.
down the. I know.
That's
It's-
why I like going and playing with you
Yeah.
after playing with Katie, because it's like I like playing with Katie too, just because it's something that we can do. But I'm not going to get a workout, and I want to get a workout, so I'll go
He
play
is
with you.
totally sweating after we play.
It's not even comparable.
I kind of have to agree.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
disagree.
sorry,
I'm just
but
saying,
it's
but don't
not.
say it's not a workout because at least it's movement.
It is movement. It's like bringing a bin from the basement up to the upstairs.
It's like going for a walk. It's still good for you. It's still moving your body.
Okay, well, I want you guys to know whenever I play anyone else, I am one of the best players.
Yeah, you're whooping their asses.
Yeah.
We can dial it back. It's all right. But that's like, and then we just need that, like, before we leave,
Yeah.
we'll just play one game of one-on-one.
Which I enjoy watching that, actually.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching you beat Brad, and I also enjoy watching Brad win, so it's really kind of a win-win for me.
We're pretty evenly matched right now.
Yep.
We played best of 7, and he beat me 4-3.
Yeah?
That was the
heard.
last time we played. Mm-hmm. I feel like even when we're playing against each other on teams, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I felt like you had the advantage in that 7-game series, though. I had the win side, that one extra game, but like my losses were worse than your losses, like point differential wise.
Yeah, maybe, but at the end of the day, a win's a win. You know?
Like I scrapped out that one.
Yeah,
I was
well,
down
that's
9-3.
Yeah, that's the thing is like if I can't close, then that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What goes down in history? It's not the point differential. It's the wins and the losses.
That's
what
how I
makes it
am.
onto the chalkboard.
Every time we play, I'm up like 4 points or 5, and then I just lose.
You just fall apart.
Yep.
I get it. Not the best closer, but I have fun.
Yep.
That's not true. I get really mad. I kind of, I'd rather take it out on pickleball though, and I only get mad at myself.
Yeah, I can't really take rage out on pickleball, but I can take it out in hockey.
Yeah, get it out there. Yeah, how did that go? How was
Good.
your first 11
Great.
p.m. game?
So nice. Tuesday nights back in Troy. It's like a 45-minute drive from the house. So the game started at 11. I think I got home at like 1:30 or something like that.
How'd you guys do?
We won. We played a team that only had 6 guys, so they had 1 sub. They had no chance.
That's
we
rough.
took it easy on them, but it was a nice first game back. So
Would
it
you
was
guys
fun.
have like 11?
No, it was 6-1. So
No, 11 people.
yes, counting the goalie. Yeah,
11 goals would be a lot.
we probably could have scored like 15.
Ooh.
But we've learned that if you beat a team in the first week
they
15
just-
nothing, they're
yeah.
probably going to move you up a division. So we are not doing that. We let them score once.
Wow.
I mean, they were so happy.
Did you make it believable enough that they didn't know that you let
It
them?
was like the one kid kind of had a breakaway, and it was on me. And I was like back checking, and I just stopped skating, and then they had a 2-on-0. So they just like the one guy skated around the back of the net, passed it up to the other guy, and he scored on fairly open net.
So when we're, kind of at home, when we're in between these long trips, all these the really busy season of summer, what do you got going on?
Yeah, so part of the reason why we're not doing some traveling in the next couple of weeks is because Brad and I are starting the IVF process. So that is pretty dominantly heavy on me for most of it, with a lot of doctor's appointments and medication and just needing to be home for that first part of it. So that will definitely take up a lot of my time in the next several weeks, but grateful that we are able to do this and that the science is available for us to be able to hopefully have a child. And so, yeah, that's what I will be doing the next couple of weeks. And then the whole process takes several months, but the next few weeks is the most intensive part of it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Definitely the most important thing that you guys have going on right now. So
For sure.
to stay home
I
and
don't
focus
know.
on that.
The golf trip that I was gonna go on might
Jesus.
have been.
Brad couldn't go on his golf trip because
Sorry, boys.
I need his help with the injections. Well, I probably don't need his help, but it seems like
No, it's the
it
right thing
should
to
be
do.
a 2-person job here,
Yes.
not just Katie's getting herself
No,
pregnant.
it's a lot. It's a huge undertaking. The whole thing. The box of medicine or whatever came.
Yeah, the box of medication came
Oh
yesterday.
my god.
It was
Wild.
like 45 injections and then a handful of other pills. And
Is it like one a day?
no, it's a couple a day. So sometimes it's 2 a day, sometimes it's 3 a day for like a 15-day period.
You going to be doing the injections?
Whatever she wants.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want him to do the injections yet.
Have you done it before?
I've
to
never
yourself,
given
yourself a
myself
shot
an
or anything?
I think we have a
injection.
class on Monday on
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
how to use everything. So
But I just feel like if Brad's coming at me with a needle, I'm going to feel more nervous about it than if
Yeah.
I were just to do it myself. But I don't know. A lot of couples suggest doing it together. So I guess I'll
Yeah.
just see how I.
Well, if you want Madison present for
I
the
did
first,
think about that.
she's used to poking people with needles.
Yeah.
And even if she just is there while you do it to instruct you, you have a class, so I'm sure
Yeah.
a lot of people go through this, so I'm sure they'll prep you,
Yeah.
but she's, we're 3 doors down, so
True. That is
she'd-
definitely a good resource.
Yeah, she'd be
I,
more than happy.
definitely will consider that. But so, yep, that is what
That's
I will be up
main
to.
focus,
Yep.
yeah. Baking a baby.
Yep. At
right.
least trying to.
We're all rooting for you.
Thank you.
It's been a
Thank
long
you.
process thus far, and I'm
Yes, it has.
excited to see you guys
Yep.
take that next step. I know you've been patient as all hell with it, so
For sure.
yeah, we're all rooting for you.
Yep. Thanks.
Bob.
Need it. Gonna
You
need
got
it.
it. You got it.
Well, on a lighter note, something I wanted to ask you guys with the less travel coming up, is there anything that you guys would want to create we're in kind of a consistent workflow now, day in, day out? Like there's some time where we could build in to create original content for our own Scrapyard page or for your own personal social media or YouTube channel or whatever it is. Like, do you guys ever think about making content for yourself? And the reason I ask this is because it's something that I've always wanted to do for myself. And I just can't really figure out how to do it. Like, what is it that I'm going to talk about? What's the format? What's the platform? Like, do I want to base it off of somebody that I like watching their stuff? I mean, I think about it a lot and I have some thoughts that I want to share on it, but I want to know what you guys think. Like, do you see anything and go, oh, I want to do that that isn't related to what we're doing now?
Sure. Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I mean, I have an answer, so unless if you want
Take
to.
it away.
Okay. So I think about this literally all the time. And actually, when Brad first started doing filmmaking, I also was starting to dabble with making my own videos.
Yep.
And I
We
started.
just watched them the other day.
Yeah, we did. We did watch a couple.
you rewatched them?
There's a YouTube channel.
I
out there.
actually made like 50 to 70 videos.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like only
fully produced.
5 views or so on each of them. But
We need to get that view count up.
I know.
Worthwhile lifestyle.
Yeah,
Check it out.
Worthwhile Lifestyle. I started about the same time Brad started his company. And it was a self-help YouTube channel, I would say, is what
Yeah.
the genre was. So I really would like to get back into that. I definitely don't like surface level conversations. I definitely like diving deep into people's adversities and trying to become the best version of yourself, and how to outlast your pain, and just those are the types of things that I would really love to help people through and talk about more. And I know I just need to continue to get the courage to continue to talk about my story and my adversities. And I guess talking about IVF is one of my adversities, but there's definitely other things that I hope to continue to get the strength to be able to talk about, and hopefully start making those videos again. So maybe this will give me a little push to start doing that again.
How long has it been since you made those? A couple of years?
Oh, probably four
4
years.
years?
Yeah.
Do you think you're more prepared now to like dive back into that? You took some time off, did a lot of soul searching, did a lot of work on yourself. Do you think that now, after that 4-year gap, you can come back with a lot more knowledge, a lot more to share?
100%. I think when I first started, I was not as healed as I thought I was. So a lot of the things that I was talking about was actually impacting me more negative than positive, as to where now I think that I have a better grip on everything, and just have healed a lot in the last 4 years, to where I think that I would be more available to talk about those things and help people better.
And even if you're better prepared but you're still in it, that's a perfect place to come from.
For sure. It just needs to be coming from a space that doesn't negatively impact me on a daily basis, where it was starting to impact me negatively on a daily basis, which is why I stepped away. And I think that was just what was best for me at that time. But I know it's going to come back. And I think that is definitely my purpose in this world, is to talk about my story and talk about adversities, and hopefully encourage other people to talk about their vulnerabilities and start their healing process. That's super important to me.
Nice.
That's going to be some deep content.
Yeah.
It will be deep content for sure. So definitely not probably your guys' listeners, but
You never know. You never know.
What are you trying to say about our listeners?
We could name them all, actually.
Yeah. What are you trying to say about our 50 listeners? Like anybody could use that at any time.
Yeah.
Even those that aren't willing to admit that they could. So
True. I think anyone can benefit from any time.
It'd be-
Anytime you can better yourself.
be a good use of your time, good use of the equipment that we have, the skill set that we have. I mean, we obviously make stuff for people for their enjoyment and their entertainment, and we like that. But to build something constructive like that, that's going to ultimately make people better. That's
For sure. It's coming. I know it is. In my
Nice.
30s.
in your 30s. All right. All
You
right.
just turned 29.
I just turned 29.
So you got
Give
one
her a
more
year.
year.
one more
prepare.
year to continue to
Give
prep
her a year.
myself, and then 30s diving in deep.
It's funny that you say that you think about it all the time, though, because I've been honestly losing sleep about this a little
Really?
bit. It's because we have goals for ourselves for the year and each quarter, and one of my quarterly goals was to start generating content on my social pages, or at least Instagram. I'm very bad at this. I'm not prone to posting or anything like that. So I know that the end of the quarter is coming up, and like I woke up two
No
nights
reminder
ago.
needed.
I woke up like 2 nights
When is
ago.
it?
The end of the what?
Quarter.
The end of this month. Yeah.
Shoot.
Check your rocks. That's what the goals are called, rocks. I woke up 2 nights ago. I woke up at like 3 a.m, and I couldn't go back to sleep for like an hour because I had so much anxiety about my social rock. And I was thinking about what I wanted to do, and I've been thinking about it regularly. And I've come to the conclusion I got to start somewhere. So I think what I want to do is start posting photography on my page. You know, it could be film, it could be digital. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to necessarily be work related, but it will be in some instances. But I know when I'm taking pictures, there's certain pictures I take that are like, oh, I like that one. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to start making note of that and then just posting them just for the hell of
Nice.
it. I mean,
That's a good
it's
starting point.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be necessarily like showcasing talent or anything like that. It's just hey, I like this picture. Mm-hmm. I'm going to showcase it on Instagram. If you like it too, cool. If not, that's fine. But with what we do in our industry, and you've made that pretty clear. And it's important that you have some sort of presence that people can try to like at least kind of know you. And I know that that's a draw too for potential customers. Mm-hmm. So I do want to. I don't want to hurt the business by not doing it. It's just going against what I'm used to. I don't. It's really tough for me. We've been talking about this since I started, really. And we've talked about it on here too. And I've made zero progress in all those conversations. I've made no changes. The only thing I've done is like accepted a collaboration post out of Scrapyard stuff.
From this podcast.
I literally have like 4 posts
on
my account, and it's all that.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
Hey, today I want you to go home and post something today.
Post a picture?
Yep.
Okay.
You can do it.
See,
I struggle with it too. I am more comfortable with posting because I post for all of our clients regularly. Mm-hmm. So the platform doesn't intimidate me. Like I'm very good and comfortable within it. Mm-hmm. But what I put out there, I never know. I don't know what to do. I have some ideas and things, and I've been inspired by a few new people recently. But it's like, just start doing it. I mean, this morning at 5:30, first thing I did when I came down here was I started just talking to the camera. And I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. Like, it just feels so weird. But I was building a set over in the other room. And I'm like, okay, I want to do a little before and after of like what it looked like with all the junk in there, and then what it looks like after. So I'm holding the camera up, I'm talking, I'm like, all right, we're gonna change around this room. This is what it looks like before, and then I'm picturing in my head, okay, we cut to the next thing. But my mind gets so caught up in the production of it all that I sometimes just get lost in that and then don't finish it and don't publish it. So I think I have to like hold myself to finishing it or maybe simplifying it in some way. And maybe it doesn't look as good as I want it to, but at least it's done, and then I can post it.
I've seen you take several stabs at this.
Yeah,
and we talk about it pretty often.
Or I don't hate it. I just feel like I'm not doing good.
I think you need to figure out what it is that's going to make you feel comfortable. Like you said, you're feeling inspired by other people. Hopefully that lands you in a spot where once you actually start trying it regularly, you'll figure out what that personality is. How can you be yourself in front of the camera versus trying to mimic somebody that it's going to be impossible for you to match.
But when it comes to mimicking, I'm not trying to mimic what they look like or what they, I draw inspiration on the idea for the video.
Right.
That's where I always struggle. Mm-hmm. And that was something that when Ryan was working with me a lot, I leaned on him almost exclusively to come up with all of the ideas. I execute the ideas, he comes up with the ideas. Well, now that I don't really have that for Scrapyard, it's like, okay, I got to come up with the ideas, but I'm not any better at it now. So I just use the internet and source other things that people are doing and try to recreate them my own way, which I've learned is a very common practice. It's not like nobody shuns that unless you're like straight up, like word for word, everything is the exact same. But I don't want to do that. Like I want it to be ours or mine. So I think with the couple people that I've found, like I've started to create a like a list of reels that I can make. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to try to make each one and check them off. And maybe I post them or maybe I don't. Hopefully I do. And see if I can just become more consistent with it.
Yeah, I feel like you're really good at talking on camera. You do a good job at presenting yourself. And you sound so nice.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's a good review.
At least my wife likes my voice.
There's your confidence boost.
I like it when you do that.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't mind it either.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it, for sure.
Well, what I realized this morning is it's really hard to make some of this stuff when you don't have somebody else to film it. So like I might have you guys help me out, just like, hey, film me moving this thing or setting up this stand or whatever, because putting it on a tripod, staging it, like I can see why some of these creators can only do like one reel, whatever their frequency is. It just takes forever.
Mm-hmm. I would say most of these guys that you're watching have probably 1 to 2 cameramen with them at all times.
Someone's filming them.
Yeah.
I mean, the camera's moving around, so.
Yeah.
I'll film you. if you film me. I was thinking about that, but then I realized that sounded kind of weird.
Not like that. We all film each other all the time. Not like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to try out some things.
What's the first thing that you want to try?
Well, right this morning I set up the room over there for headshots just so that we can get some like Scrapyard headshots. Mine still says Sensation all over it, and I don't even know what your guys look like, but I'm sure it isn't Scrapyard based.
Hey, maybe that'll be my first post on Instagram. Is my
It's
brand
not a post.
my brand new headshot? No,
Unless you actually post it.
no, I'm saying like I'll take my picture and post it on Instagram. Maybe. I don't know.
My
Yeah, I mean-
headshot on LinkedIn is a senior picture from high
no.
school.
Jesus.
Did you even accept Scrapyard as your employer yet?
I have not updated my LinkedIn.
We're still only 2 employees.
Guys.
I accepted it.
You did?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was invited, but I have been having some people view my LinkedIn, so I probably should fix that.
Yeah.
I get new requests, but it's all like supply chain stuff.
I did get
It's
a
never anything
recruitment
creative.
a
That has all
recruitment
stopped.
message. Someone's wanting me to come join their team.
Oh, really? It's
Right.
probably a bot.
Not sure. And it was not a bot. It was a real person. I told them no, that I had a good job. And I was happy with where I was at.
Yeah.
Well, you should at least, how much you could negotiate with that. Bring something to the table.
But with these headshots that I was setting up, like it wasn't the headshots that I was trying to create. It was a couple reels around lighting, like different lighting techniques. One was just on, it was a funny one. I don't know how I can't just straight up copy this guy because it was pretty unique, but he sets everything up and then he like gets shots of like everything plugging in and whatever. And then at the end he swings the mic around and it's like a perfect setup. And all he says is, today we're going to talk about why gear doesn't matter. And it's funny because he just like plugged in all this stuff, like the lights, everything. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Easy, not
Yeah.
hard to do, but it was his original idea. So like, how do you change that because you like that? Thought it was funny. Like,
Yeah,
there's only
maybe
one word or whatever, one sentence.
take like that same mentality and build something out of it. I was thinking about that kind of exact thing today when I was setting this up. Like, so if you're watching the video, you can see that I've set my office up down here in the podcast room now. So I got my monitors and all that. And like we have waveform set up because it's cool. It's not anything real. There's a keyboard right here.
What do you mean it's not real?
Well, it's
You were
showing the
looking at it
Why?
and then
waveforms.
you went and turned it up because I was too low.
Yeah, right. Maybe it's not completely useless, but it's more for like the look. And then we got like the keyboard over here with the iMac. That's not plugged in. I'm like, we're setting this up, and then I thought to myself, I wonder how many of these people, like you put all your gear out for everyone to see. It gives you, it's like the same way, the reason that you'd buy like an on-shoulder camera. It'd be like, okay, people respect people with like higher end gear,
A bigger camera.
more gear. Like it's like a
Just
facade.
physically bigger.
But I'm like, I wonder how many of these YouTube creators use like the same camera and microphone over and over again, but then just have all this other stuff kind of just hanging out.
I don't know.
Like, is it worth thinking about how do you boil down everything that you're doing? I did the same thing with music. I bought so much stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm not using any of this. I've just gone over the top with it, and then I went back to the basics. I'm like, all right, well, why don't I just start with like one guitar, or why don't I start with one drum beat or something like that? Like you want it to be so successful, and you want to use all these things, and then sometimes it kind of like convolutes the thought process. You go back to basics.
Yeah.
It's a similar thought to that what that reel was trying to prove. Maybe
Yeah.
we make something along those lines.
Yeah, I think that some stuff for Scrapyard could focus on the project work that we do, but then stuff for our own should just be us. But
Yeah, we do fun things.
I know, and we are video creators. That's what we do. So for us to not have that on our own personal brands doesn't make much sense. It's like I know we're all passionate about it, so why don't we do it for our own things? Like when we went and played pickleball the other day, why didn't one of us have a camera?
I just don't think. I don't know. I struggle with I'm fine doing the work for a client. Like I'm fine creating a video for somebody else. I struggle with. I'm like, who would ever want to? Who cares about what I got going on?
Okay, and something that brought this up and maybe is pushing me a little bit more is that we're now embarking on a new client that is just a person. They want their personal brand to be to look better online, to create more content. So we're going to be creating YouTube videos about this person and like their life and, building their brand. I'm like, well, if we're going to do this for them, why wouldn't we do this for ourselves? Like, they're going to pay us to do this. There has to be value in that. And I think if we see the value in that as we do the work for them, we'll be like, okay, if I do that for myself, like that can get us to the same place that we got that person. And I'm not going to do work for somebody else that I don't believe in. And I truly believe that the work that we're going to do for them will make a difference and it will help their business. So why wouldn't we do that?
Yeah, I totally agree.
So that kind of motivated me to kind of look into this a little bit more.
I do feel like it is tough sometimes. Like you want to just kind of go do something and just enjoy the moment of doing it instead of having to like film it. At least that's how I feel.
I've always had the mindset of me, like I enjoy
the filming process. Yeah.
What I need to probably work on is like the workflow of filming to publishing and try to just trim as much fat off of that as possible. So whether that's getting, using my phone more, getting mics that auto sync to the camera, like little stuff like that could make a big difference if I'm doing this every day. But I don't know.
I think about that. Like I think about making a video all the time, but then I'm like, oh, but it's like, there's so many things I need to do in order to make this video. But I think like you were saying with using your phone more, I think that would make me want to film more.
Yeah.
I could just pull out my phone and film whatever it is that like quickly.
Back to the basics.
Yeah.
Let's make a video about that, and let's have all of the gear set up on a table. And every day you go in getting ready to make a video, what am I going to pick up? And then you just pick up your phone and leave every single time. Do it like 20 times. Pick up the iPhone, leave. That's it. And you'll create so much more because of that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And there's a time and place to use all of the cool, expensive gear, right, for clients where you want more of that professional look. But to make our own content, maybe we don't need that.
Yeah. I would say like the wireless mics with the phone. And then our knowledge of how to light things, which you don't need lights.
Use natural lighting the right way.
But just doing it and making sure that you look at it in advance.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you really need. I'm saying this and I'm like, I need to be doing this though.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, it is.
Just like anything else.
It's hard.
We got the iPhone 15s because Mike Howe told us that that's all we needed.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting over the next couple months here and see what we can do because we're all talking a good game right now.
Will I post that picture later today?
I will pay you
just
$5 if you post that photo today.
Really?
$1.
I should just do it either way. It shouldn't be about the money. Obviously, $5, whatever.
Hey, I'm just saying.
It's just it's motivation. I will
give you the "you're doing a great job" $100 bill that Brad and I pass back and forth to each other.
But I can't leave the office, right?
Correct.
No, you can keep your fake money. No, I should just do it. I'd like to think that once I do it, it'll be a lot easier from there on out. But it's consistency, just like anything else.
And finding the time. Because we only have so much time, and a lot of it goes towards just client work. So
I find that like when we're in it, like we are right now, though, and we're staring down the barrel of all this additional work, and it's feeling a little bit hectic, and maybe that's why I'm losing a little bit of sleep at night. Once we get dialed in, or you're kind of like in that zone, I find, at least for me, I mean, I know you guys are good at using your time efficiently, or at least you are. You're in the learning process like I am, I guess. I don't know. But like once I'm forced to use it efficiently, once I'm forced to use my time efficiently, everything starts to become more efficient.
What forces you to use your time efficiently?
Work. Like we have so much work and we have so much travel. I only have so much time at home, and I care about it. I care about the job, so I'm gonna do the work. It puts things into perspective for me of like how poorly I was using my time previously in my life. And like I'm still not perfect at it. There'll still be days where I have down days and stuff like that. But for the most part, like this week I would go home and I would work outside until the sun went down, because that's just what I had blocked off for the day. I don't have any other time that I can do that. So I'm hoping that spills into the way that I spend my free time. So if I want to do stuff with music, I'm hoping that being more structured throughout my day, even like with my diet and stuff like that, it starts to become more regimented. And so then I have time set aside to do something like that, or I have time set aside to go edit a picture and post it on Instagram. Like it just all kind of starts to click.
Well, even though we still have some travel coming up, it's not going to be like the summer. So you should be able to get into a good routine over the next 6 months, really. Mm-hmm. So see what you can do.
Yeah. That's the goal. We'll see what happens.
And I guess to the audience, I mean, if you guys have anything you want to see us create, if you like filmmaking, if you like music, if you want to get inspired by Katie's journey, let us know, because we could use a little push. So we'll take whatever we can get.
Sometimes that's all it takes, is doing it for somebody else, not yourself, and then kind of energize you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we could do it for each other.
Let us know what you think about the theme song, because I could always remake that as well. That was kind of like
people love that.
That was kind
I like
of
the theme
that was kind of
song.
a shot in the dark right there.
My cousins were like really surprised that you made that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that whole jingle was just, I was sitting in front of that keyboard right there and I was like, do, 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 do. Like it was so unplanned. And then I listened to it and I was like, all right, that'll work for now. But
see, that's what we need to do with these social posts.
Just
is
go
like,
for it.
it's fine. Just put it out there. Mm-hmm. Nah,
good mentality. Good mentality to carry, though. Can't be too worried about the results or what people will think. If you like it, you like it.
All right. Well, we'll check back in next week on the pod, because we're going to be a little bit more consistent now that we're home.
And I'll be back, because I'm a permanent host.
Yeah. Look at how happy she is.
Do you want to end it?
What do I do to end it?
Just smack your fist on the table. Nice. That was really... You okay?
It did hurt a little.